Did you hear the news about an ABC station in Sacramento being hit with 3 rounds of gunfire last week? Why has the national media and state media suddenly dropped the story? Well, coming up, we'll tell you about who's behind the shooting and why the national and state media and politicians in California want to bury the story as quick as they can. We've got details about the suspect. Plus, Gavin Newsom accused of making threats against a Trump cabinet secretary. We've got details on whether he may face federal investigation. All that and more coming up. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. And last week, I got news that an affiliate of ABC suffered 3 rounds of gunfire. Someone drove by and shot into the front lobby of the news station. The news station quickly went into lockdown. Police were called. And the story at first, reported that maybe someone was engaging in political violence because of the Jimmy Kimmel cancellation, or maybe it's just California crime, where drive-by shootings seem to be pretty commonplace. Immediately, I suspected it was political violence. An ABC affiliate shot up 3 times a day after left-wing protesters gathered outside to decry Jimmy Kimmel being suspended indefinitely from the network. I'll tell you how the media initially covered the story and how it literally is now trying to bury the details about the gunman who's now been arrested, a far left-wing activist who used to be the chief legislative staff member for the California Teachers Federation. We're going to get into the detail, and I'm going to share with you his social media account in just a moment. Real quick, we are leading the fight in California to bring truth to California voters so they know what's really going on in this state. And in a moment, you're going to hear about how Newsom let the gunman out, moments after being arrested. But in California, we are not going to change the direction of our state unless we get a revolt at the grassroots level. So I'm urging you, join our fight at reformcalifornia.org. It supports this podcast, but it also is all about supporting ballot measures like the California Voter ID Initiative, opposing bad ballot measures like tax increases and Gavin Newsom's Prop 50, which is coming up in the special election this fall, recruiting candidates for sheriff, for district attorney, law and order candidates who won't let these criminals get released back on the street easily. And of course, changing who's in our legislature, breaking the Democrat supermajority. Go to that website and do 2 things. Number 1, sign up. At the bottom of the website, your first name, your last name, your email, your phone number, and your zip code, and then you will be tethered into our growing movement statewide to take back our state from the insanity of the far left. Second, please consider chipping in a contribution to support our campaigns, this podcast, and our work. Let's get right into it. Here is the coverage of the initial coverage of the shooting, where the media is like, oh, I wonder what happened. I knew exactly what happened right out of the gate. Listen.
Tonight, gunshots fired at an ABC-affiliated television station in Sacramento. Bullet holes seen in the window of the lobby. An employee of the Tegna-owned station telling NBC News someone pulled up, fired into the lobby, and drove off.
We're not going to stop looking for you. This is unacceptable behavior. It's not going to be tolerated in Sacramento.
At least one person was in the...
This is unacceptable behavior. It won't be tolerated in Sacramento. Appreciate this police officer's statement, but it doesn't translate into reality in terms of what politicians tolerate in the state of California. This sort of stuff, and in a moment you're going to hear how this guy was treated by state and local politicians, the shooter.
Was in the lobby at the time, according to the station employee. Police say nobody was injured. While the motive is unknown, it comes amid backlash to the decision by Disney, ABC's parent company, to suspend Jimmy Kimmel's late night show following the comments he made about Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin. Tonight, as ABC remains silent about the future of Kimmel, criticism growing over the company's decision and how the head...
So, okay, we quickly transition to a private company firing an insubordinate employee with low ratings. Quickly, we have to go from the shooting, which clearly is political violence, or at the very least is indicative of California's crime wave. So this is NBC covering it right out of the gate. So I took to Twitter and immediately said, hey, I have a theory about what happened. I posted and I got criticism by some lefties who said that I was jumping the gun. I was very careful about how I phrased it. I retweeted the incident, and I said, is it more left-wing violence or just ordinary California crime wave under a Democrat supermajority? So this is about the initial shooting, just asking the questions. And of course, people saying, how dare you say it's left-wing violence? It could be someone on the right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So then we get the information about who this really is. The suspect is Al Hernandez Santana, arrested for shooting the station by local authorities. This is a guy who is a former state political appointee to the Indian Health Board. He has a lawsuit for wrongful termination, alleging DEI violations. But prior to that, he was the chief lobbyist for the California Federation of Teachers, one of the largest far-left labor union special interests that control our state. This is a very politically connected guy. You don't rise to the level of one of the key lobbyists for the teachers union in Sacramento, by the way, if you don't have big time political connections. He was arrested by local authorities and within hours was simply released onto the streets. This guy is engaging in political violence. This is not just some random crime. This is a motivated, politically motivated, violent act. And for all the Democrat politicians in California who talk about gun violence, here you've got this potential mass shooter who's just simply released on the streets on bail. This is not a sort of guy that you say, oh, he's not a threat to public safety. He is a threat to public safety. He's motivated by political violence, and these are very, very tenuous times. People are very politically charged. So moments after he was released, the Department of Justice decided we've got him on federal crimes and we're going to go apprehend him. And they did. Thank goodness. And I actually was corresponding with a DOJ contact about this. I mean, I sent the initial notice of bail to this DOJ official. And simply the response was, we're working on it, stay tuned. So we've got a suspect now in custody, thank goodness. And let me share with you this guy's Twitter feed. He's absolutely insane. First and foremost, everything on his page is far left. And again, it's not a crime to be sharing far left philosophy on your page, just makes you wrong and ignorant, but it's your right to say that. But here's what he posted on September 18th about President Trump. Where is a good heart attack when we need it the most? Please join in my thoughts and prayers for the physical demise of our fearful leader. Our thoughts and prayers for the physical demise? Oh, and this is a guy that California politicians released back on the streets. Oh, I want to strip all of these Democrat politicians of any security detail that they have. If this is the nonsense that you're going to allow normal people to live under, then you too shall bear the risk. Hey, Gavin Newsom, you should have no security detail. You should have to ride transit in Sacramento for the inconvenience and the risk. You're going to subject all Californians to the same crime wave and threats of violence, then you should bear the same. So he's making threats against President Trump. Now let's go back a few days to the Charlie Kirk assassination. What did he have to say back then? Here's one, particularly foul. I think the word empathy, that made-up New Age term, did a lot of damage to CK's corroded artery. These are the people on the left that say that they're peaceful and loving. No, foul, violent, disgusting. He has First Amendment rights to be hate-filled, as this tweet suggests, and inflammatory. How about this one? Our thoughts and prayers are with Charlie Kirk and his family. May the prudence of his cost-benefit analysis for 2A rights versus school shootings live on forever. Says the suspect in a mass shooting. You can't make this crap up. These guys are hypocrites. The guy who's for gun control has a bunch of guns and shoots up a TV station simply because he disagrees with a private employer firing an insubordinate, low-rated employee. You might wonder what the charges from the feds are. Interference with a licensed broadcaster through violence, which is a federal crime. So now they have him in custody, and they won't be putting him out on bail. His lawyer, because this guy is a lawyer, this guy is actually a lawyer himself, said, I was surprised that the feds arrested. Why? Because you're used to state and local government politicians on the left coddling criminals here in California? Surprise, boom. This is the sort of nonsense that we're dealing with. And is any of this covered? No. A little bit of coverage here and there, but to my friends in the liberal media, you're now targeted by the same left-wing mob that you feed propaganda to on a regular basis. Incendiary propaganda, riling up the passions. Oh, but they turn on you real quick. We have a problem with political violence in this country. And yes, there are people on both sides that engage in political violence, but it is particularly prevalent right now on the left. And it needs to be acknowledged and dealt with. Oh, into this cauldron of emotion comes our asshat governor, who tweets, Kristi Noem is going to have a bad day today. You're welcome, America. This comes at a time when, as part of the Kirk investigation, there are a lot of social media posts that are under scrutiny of, did people know ahead of time? Did these people threaten? Now, I don't think Newsom is going to go out and do anything physically violent. No, but what he's trying to do is chum the water to get political attention. He doesn't care who this riles up. He doesn't care who on the right it makes feel uncomfortable and ill at ease, worried. He doesn't care about Kristi Noem's family. Kristi Noem's family probably doesn't worry about Gavin Newsom. They worry about the left-wing lunatics who are inspired by and see permission given by Gavin Newsom. Oh, Carl, you're making too much ado about nothing. Donald Trump said something similar about Bernie Sanders, and that's exactly what Newsom posted was, hey, look at this. What Donald Trump in 2020 said Bernie Sanders is going to have a bad day today. You know when Trump posted that? It was on Super Tuesday in 2020 when Joe Biden clinched the nomination. Context matters. And particularly context today is at a time when people on the right are fearing left-wing political nutjobs riled up by irresponsible, reprehensible governors like Gavin Newsom. Hey, Gavin, did you tweet ABC 10's going to have a bad day today? This has got to stop. Oh, by the way, one of the guys posted on my tweet here. Dude, yesterday you accused with no evidence that leftists shot up a TV station in Sacramento. Seems like you need to stop this crap. I loved owning him. I said, well, here you go. Anti-Trump shooter fired 3 shots into ABC building after Kimmel suspension. You left-wing lunatics make it so easy. This is not going to be a story that is covered. Usually, if it's a shooting, the media gets all lathered up. But when it doesn't fit their narrative, when it's one of their own, they have to quickly cover it up, even when the victims are fellow journalists. Again, the media needs to take stock of the environment that it helps contribute to. It's the same way a few years ago when a reporter parked, a news crew parked their car in downtown San Francisco with a bunch of TV equipment in it. They had to do a story. Well, we parked only for 5 minutes, and when we came back, our car was completely vandalized, and they took all of our expensive equipment. Yeah, you support pro-crime politicians. I mean, imagine that. You as a news reporter and all your coverage about how Republicans are evil and it's these criminals are the victim of racism and it's a racist criminal justice system. Suddenly it comes back to bite you. Nobody should be victimized by crime or violence. And that is why my hope is that the media pays close attention to what's going on today. Because even ABC has been targeted by the left-wing mob with political violence. At Reform California, we believe that there are better people out there and that they want change in state government and local government. That they don't want to see criminals let out on bail moments after they are arrested. Criminals who engage in political violence and can do it again, who literally seem to be quite mentally unwell, released back on the street? I don't think so. Thank goodness for the Trump DOJ taking immediate action and taking this guy back into custody to protect public safety. But at Reform California, we want to change the politicians here in the state of California, and we need your help to do that. So go to the website, reformcalifornia.org, sign up, share this video so people learn more about this shooting and who's behind it. Also chip in a contribution to help us do our work. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California and a California State Legislator. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.